up, guys? Team Robot Overlord. I've been speaking all day. My eloquence is kind of at its reach.
Really? You speak?
Yeah.
All day.
Got
Look at him. He thinks
deck
he's
profile. This is just kind of my fun deck. This is an old school like Frognarch deck that has some like kind of random tech choices. I don't know. It's
Seems
not.
to come back to him.
It's not any like a complete like competitive deck. This is a deck I like to play with because I've always liked it. Triple swap, of course. Best card in the deck. Dupe, 2 Ronin Totem, 2 Treeborn. Kind of a standard Frognarch. I'm not playing Lancer. This is just kind of the really old school, bare bones build of Monarchs. I would play Lancers if I wanted to be more competitive because they are better, but you know, this is just my fun deck. I got Triple Caius because Konami says I can only run 3. 3 Ryza because, you know, there's a lot of people, oh, you know, there's some ways that Ryza is better. No, Caius is absolutely better, but Ryza is still really good. 1 Mobius. There's a lot of back row hate. Hating on back row is good. And then 1 Thestalos. Thestalos, I don't really see a lot of people playing, but I just think it's really good. It's really only scary because Dark Worlds are around and you can just get smashed if you know, pick a wrong card in Dark Worlds. But basically anything else, it's just an instant -1. I mean, it's always good. Gores, because, you know, it's Gores. Tragodia, second best card in the deck behind Swap Frog. Tragodia should not be at 2. This card is way too good. 2 Lad, the mini bosses, and the big boss, Obelisk. That's all the tribute monsters. There's a lot of them. I also don't have $200. 2 Thunder King, these are random tech choices. 2 Snowman Eater. It actually does have some pretty good synergy with this deck because you can ditch it when you're trying to use your swap special summons. And it's just kind of a surprise. They're thinking that they're just going to attack into a frog or something. Oh, Snowman Eater's going to shit on you. And it's got a big ass 1900, and then like with Gotchi out, it's, you know, sizable, so you can tribute off if you need it. 2 Spirit Reaper. Another good thing about playing these 2 cards is that with Tragodia, it just give you more levels so you can ditch and take control of your opponent. Double Effect Veiler. It's just good for the stun and also for making Formula Synchron.
Also, if you don't play them in this format, you are a bad Yu-Gi-Oh player.
No, not necessarily. There's different hand traps you can play. This is
stable now.
it just
There's
has
Max C now.
Yeah, it just has a lot. It's just a lot better synergy with this deck because these guys can make you an instant +1. And 1 Battle Fader and then 1 Sengan. That's all the monsters.
Why not 2 Sengan?
Konami says I can only play 1.
Sure.
All right, spells. Nothing really earth-shattering. Holy Trinity, of course. Avarice, because it's good. 1 for 1. 1 for 1 is my choice in this deck over playing Foolish Burial, just because it helps make the Formula Synchron play easier. Also for the fact that, you know, you can get your you can synchro if you need to with your Effect Veiler, but it also makes the Shooting Star play a lot more accessible. Double MST, you're playing Heavy Storm and 2 MST, and you're playing Mobius. You got enough back row hate for like the game 1 matchup. And then 1 Soul Exchange, and then 3 Econ. Taking your opponent's shit. Taking your opponent's shit since 2002.
Which is busted with Treeborn, because it's like,
oh, yeah.
standby phase, Econ.
Yeah.
Open up triple Econ Treeborn.
Scoop.
That's actually pretty bad. If you like Econ's, this deck is only as good if you can get the right balance of frogs and monarchs. If you don't, you're gonna have a bad time. Side deck right now, End of Anubis. This is my ace against Dark Worlds. Jinzo, Vanity's Fiend, Dark Dust, another Thestalos, and then another Mobius. These are all just kind of generic, good against like spammy decks. This is actually really good against the mirror match. Like if you resolve this guy first, you're gonna have a really good chance of winning. This is decks if you're playing that have a shit ton of back row. This is just a good generic thing that you can swap out with. Double DD Crow, of course. Electric Virus, and then 1 Breaker, because I don't like the Gravekeeper matchup with this deck. Burial from a Different Dimension. I was usually always side this in game 2. It's just, you know, kills things like Chain Disappearance. Like, you will side in tech cards in order to get your Treeborns and your other frogs out of the grave. This just makes them irrelevant. Third MST, double System Down, and then Nobleman because the Gear matchup really scares me. As it should scare anybody. Extra deck, Double Gashi, and Dark Mist. I'm playing these because, you know, I don't have a Daigusto Phoenix, but, you know, those are fine. Zenmaines, Utopia, random, generic exceeds. Especially if you're playing Tragodia, you want to have the most flexibility with your Tragodia as possible. Swordbreaker and Camera. Poor Man's Catastor, Poor Man's Strike Bouncer. Just good level 6 exceeds. Formula Synchron, amazing card. Instant +1, you can tribute it off. You can use it to make a Shooting Star. 1 Armory Arm, a Magical Android, Black Rose, Scrap Archfiend, Scrap Dragon, and then Stardust and his big brother Shooting Star.
Oh, Big Daddy.
This guy is just incredible. I've never had the opportunity to make Quasar in this deck. It's incredible. It's very difficult in order to make Shooting Star, but when you can, like, it's just it's amazing. But if I can find a way to make Quasar in this deck, oh my, I will lose my shit. All right, guys, that's the deck.